ऑलराइट, तो गैंग भी हो गया हमारा. ठीक है, गैंग के बाद कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ ओर था. तो कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ ओर मीन्स प्योरिफिकेशन, राइट. So the process of removal of gangue from the ore is technically known as concentration, and the purified ore is called concentrate. As I've already told you earlier, that concentration means purification, and concentration of ore means purification of ore from gangue, right? So just keeping the definition in simpler terms, that is purification of ore from by the removal of gangue, and the purified form of the ore is concentrate. It is very easiest I would say, easiest definition. Moving forward, we have these three sub-SLOs that are carried down for the concentration of ore. So first is gravity separation. Now by the term gravity, just take this screenshot if you want to take it. I'm gonna remove it. 1 2 3. Alright. Now by the term gravity, it means density. It is like something about density we will talk about, right? So gravity separation means we are using densities, the difference between density to separate gangue and ore, right? So what does the definition say? The definition says gravity separation is based on the differences in the densities of the metallic ore and gangue particles. That's what I've said earlier, that gravity separation is based on, now this the term gravity separation, that is based upon the different intensities of gangue particles and the metallic ore, right? So there are only two key terminologies to remember: densities, and the difference in the densities, right? And metallic ore and gangue particles, right? These are the two terminologies. So keeping it brief and simpler, the definition goes like: gravity separation is based on the difference in densities between gangue particles and metallic ore. See, based on the difference in densities of the metallic ore and the gangue particles, right? Now they are explaining this process. I will just explain it by the diagram on the page number 157 of your textbooks, chemistry, right? The chapter is chemical industries. Now by looking on this diagram very closely, giving it a close look, right? Now as you can see, we have water gangue, we have concentrated ore, and it is separated by gravity separation. Now let me explain you this process. In this process, the powdered heavy metal bearing ore settles down on agitation in a stream of water. Now the concentrated ore is settled down, and it is carrying metal as well. So it settles down on agitation in a stream of water, right? Or like a stream of water means like it is like hot type of water. While lighter gangue particles, the pink particles are the gangue particles, the lighter gangue particles, right? So while the lighter gangue particles are carried away by water as shown in figure 16.1. This. Now the lighter gangue particles are carried away. Why? Because there is a change in density, right? The gangue particles, carry light density, very small amount of density they have. Density of gangue particles is small, you know, negligible. It's like 0 point something. So it's negligible. Density of gangue is very small or negligible, and the density of metallic ore is more. So that's why, you know, gangue can be separated by water, but the metallic ore cannot. Thus, you know, the metallic ore is separated by this process, that is gravity separation. Only the key terminology for this, you know, process is density. The change in density. Due to the change in density, we are able to, you know, separate these two uh, metallurgical you know, things. Now moving forward, the part 2, the process of froth flotation process. Froth flotation process. You can, you know, take the screenshot of this as well. I'm gonna move now. Moving forward, we have this process, that is froth flotation process. Now froth flotation process is based on the wetting characteristics of the ore and the gangue particles with oil and water respectively. So before, in the previous, you know, lesson, in the previous episode, I've talked about, you know, gravity separation, and the key terminology in that, you know, process was density, difference in densities, right? Now in this process, the key terminology that you are going to remember is wetting characteristics. In the previous, there was difference in their densities, and in this process, flotation process, there is wetting characteristics of ore, right? Wetting characteristics of ore, characteristics of ore. So flotation process is based on the wetting characteristics of ore and gangue particles. You know, whenever you are going to write ore, so it's, you know, type of partner is gangue. So you won't forget this, gangue and ore. Should not forget like that, right? So this is the definition of it. So flotation process is based on the wetting characteristics of ore and the gangue particles with oil and water. With oil and water. With oil and water. मतलब ये कि फ्लोटेशन प्रोसेस में वेटिंग कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स जो मतलब वो बेस्ड अपॉन वेटिंग कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स पे है, पूरा बेस्ड ही वेटिंग कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स पे है गैंग और ओर की। कैसे हम लोग पानी से वेट कर सकते हैं, फिर ऑयल से, राइट? ऑयल डेंस गाढ़ा होता है, ज़्यादातर डेंस होता है, तो ऑयल भी मदद करेगा और वाटर भी मदद करेगा, ठीक है? तो विद ऑयल एंड वाटर, सो कीपिंग इट इन, यू नो, in full flow, that is flotation process is based on wetting characteristics of ore and gangue particles with oil and water, right? Now moving forward, we have this, the process of flotation process. Flotation now just focusing on flotation. Alright, I'm going to change the color. This is good. This is this is good. Alright, so the ore particles, I'm gonna describe it by, you know, showing this diagram. Just gonna focus on this diagram. Alright, now what does this diagram shows you? It shows the process of flotation. The ore particles are preferentially wetted by oil and gangue particles by water. Alright. Now they are saying the ore particles. The ore particles are wetted by oil and the gangue particles are wetted by water. All right, gangue particles now. All right, ore by oil, they are wetted by oil, and gangue particles are wetted by water. All right. Alright. The whole mixture is agitated with compressed air. Now they are saying जो पूरा मिक्सचर है वो एजिटेट हो जाता है कंप्रेस्ड एयर से, मतलब हवा से, ठीक है. फिर वो मतलब थोड़ा सा कंपोस्ट हो जाता है. Then hence oil coated ore particles become lighter and then comes to the surface in form of froth that can be skimmed as shown in figure 16.2. Now as we have already heard that ore was wetted by oil, and initially ore was wetted by oil, and that gangue particles were wetted by water. So due to the wetting the gangue particles by oil, right? No, gangue particles by water, the gangue particles becomes floats on the surface, and then hence oil coated oil particles becomes lighter, right? Now oil coated ore particles becomes lighter, मतलब कि जो ऑयल की कोट और पार्टिकल जो हमने पहले इनिशियली हमने उनको वेट किया था ऑयल से, ठीक है, और पार्टिकल्स को, वो लाइटर हो जाते हैं, ठीक है, और वो सरफेस पर आ जाते हैं, ठीक है, लाइटर हो जाते हैं, डेंस हो जाते हैं. दैट्स व्हाई दे केम ऑन द सरफेस in form of froth. Now the froth is like a type of formation of ore when they are wetted by oil, and then they can be skimmed as shown in figure 16.2. Now I'm going to explain this diagram to you. Compressed air is coming, and sulfide ore particles, they are also described in detail about the ore particles. Here they are using sulfide ore particles, right? Now this is gangue, this is the impurity, and they are wetted by water, and the ore particles there that you can see by they are colored golden, right? So gangue particles are colored golden, as you can see here. Water containing pine oil, the oil they are also described the type of oil, that is pine, and fluid bubbles carrying sulfide ore particles. Now after this process, the ore particles come to the surface of this water pan, right? And then you can easily separate these two. All right, moving forward, we have electromagnetic separation, but first of all I'm going to show you this so you can